Hey everyone, it's Kat.
And Amber.
And we are Wandering Soup, and you are...
Wanderers. What's up, y'all?
That's right. So today, y'all, we are continuing our home search and sharing it with you. Today we're going to share with you 2 older homes that we saw.
Or more traditional, maybe is the better word.
No, they were older.
Well, they're also more traditional Mexican homes.
I wouldn't even know if they would be traditional, because I think the style changes every few years here of what is considered traditional. Traditional is what we live in now in Centro. Those homes weren't in Centro. So they were popular in the 80s, that style of design. Mm-hmm. The style that's going on now is not very similar. Both the homes that we saw, well, no, I take it back. I was going to say both of them were 1 story only, but that wasn't true. So anyway, a lot of the homes that we saw before were 1 story at one point. Anyway, we are digressing because we've seen so many homes. Mm-hmm. But we are going to share with you these 2 that, and we're sharing it with you just so you can see what you can get here, and also what you should look at when you are renting an older home in Merida. Because renting in Merida is different. Renting in Mexico, if you're coming from the U.S. or even Canada, it's a different game.
Right. The whole process is different. Looking for a place, actually sitting down and signing a lease, very different process.
I love it. So you ready? Let's do it. Alrighty, y'all. This is our first home. This was actually one of the last homes that we saw. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 12.5. What neighborhood was this in? Do you remember? Alta Brisa?
It was very close to Alta Brisa, yes.
Mm-hmm. Great neighborhood, by the way.
Yeah, it was. It's at a corner almost, but very walkable area. Lots of stores, restaurants, all that.
It's an older home. I didn't like that 2-level flooring design. This is the hallway before the bedrooms, which are over there. And the kitchen and everything else is basically on the other side of the home. I didn't like the two different levels. I thought that was different, and not in a good way.
Yeah, they were actually not redoing, but if you see, there's quite a few people in this video, because it was used as an office previously, mm-hmm. and now it's being rented out just as a residence. So they had to actually fix some things that hadn't been used before by the person who used it as an office.
And there was a backyard, which was pretty decent. It wasn't bad. It's a kitchen. It's old, no appliances. So you had to get an oven, a fridge. Probably a countertop has to be replaced. There's basically the only storage you see is what you see in this picture. This upper cabinet. Windows were okay, but it's an older home, and it's definitely an older industrial-looking kitchen. I don't know if anybody wants a metal countertop right now. It's not aesthetically pleasing.
Right, and those are things that usually they'll let you replace, but that's money you're putting into the house.
Right. And here was a bedroom office off of the kitchen. I don't know. We would have used it as a bedroom. I mean, as an office. There was no AC unit in there, so that's going to be more money that you're going to put into that part. And there was a massive pool on the side of the home. I mean, huge.
That hadn't been used, obviously, because it was an office. So they're in the process of filling it and all that. But yeah, it's humongous for this space.
Right. It takes up the whole side of the house. And it's not something I would want. I don't need a pool that big. We don't need a pool that big. And here's just another visual of that living room, dining room space, because it all will be one. And there's a hallway again leading to the bedrooms. And again, this was 3 bedrooms, right? Two baths. So the primary or the master bedroom had a bath. The other 2 did not. They shared a bathroom in the hallway. They had the old built-ins, which are fine. It's a closet system. You're good to go in that regard. And there's an AC unit. Those AC units, though, were old. And there's no ceiling fan. So more than likely, to keep your electric bill down, you would need to invest in new AC units in this home. AC units can run you anywhere at a minimum around 6,000 pesos, and you're going up from there. And that's to keep your light bill down. I mean, your electric bill, because electricity here is expensive. Because you need it.
Yeah, and they weren't redoing the floors or the walls, anything like that. Mm-hmm. So all of it's the original fixture. And I think in the other bedroom they didn't have like the built-in closet like in this one. they didn't have it, so you would have to actually put shelving in. Or I think they were going to put some shelving in.
Right.
We asked.
Here's the bathroom, the hall bathroom. As you can tell, it's an older tile, older design. Definitely, I'm sure this was very popular in the 80s. Look at the fixtures. We didn't really test the water feature. I don't think the water was on, so I don't know. I didn't like the walls. They needed painting. They're the concrete brick wall. It just didn't look very smooth. The texture was very like someone that did some plastering and tried to repair some things. It just wasn't pretty. Nor did I like the windows. I didn't like any of the. It looked like prison bars. I know it wasn't. It's like security features with designs, but I just didn't like it. And I honestly didn't like the built-ins. I ain't gonna lie. I thought they were older looking. Maybe if you painted them or something like that, but you definitely don't want to take them out. That's a waste of good wood and stuff. And this was a master. It didn't have the built-ins that Amber mentioned.
Right.
It did have space in the bathroom. You'll see that shortly. A lot of windows. And for somebody, this home will be perfect if you want to put the money into it.
Right. And the rooms aren't super huge, but
Right.
they were all
decent
a
size.
good size.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the front room, the main room was a good size. So it was definitely a spacious feeling house.
Mm-hmm. You can tell when they first built this in, there's a closet in the bathroom, has to be built up, that Amber was talking about. They try to put some, upgraded features in the 80s, and this was a very beautiful bathroom in 1985. I'm assuming it's just not that cute today. But of the bathrooms that we saw, I actually like this one. I'm not upset with this bathroom.
Yeah, because it has the wall separation, which I absolutely have to have at this point. And not all the homes here have that, so that was a plus here.
Right.
Yeah.
It's already built in. You don't have to worry about it. So this is the biggest bedroom in the home with the master bathroom, or the ensuite bathroom, rather. It was good. I have no problems with this house. The location was fantastic. In the backyard.
Yeah, they had a whole extra space for where the actual washing machine goes. And there's no dryer, but they said there was a place that you could plug one in. So basically you just have to find a spot to plug your dryer in. But there's so much room back there that you could do that.
Well, there was no place that was there automatically. I think you could see the washer, the plug for the washer, but not for the dryer.
Right.
But you got both of those big rooms. You shouldn't have any problems at all. This property, this home rather, covered a lot of property. I mean, it was a big corner lot home. Again, very, very nice neighborhood, very walkable. The home just will require a lot of money to get it to where I think we want it to be. And we're looking at new AC new AC units, ceiling fans in all the rooms, oven and fridge, washer and dryer, of course, and then just furniture, and then painting. All right, y'all, we are going into the next home. This was a 4-bedroom, 3-bath for 15,000 pesos. Filming's a little janky, I apologize. But we are going straight into one of the bedrooms. It was a 2-story. This is a 2-story home.
It is, yeah, and this is also at a corner of a pretty busy street. So it's also an area that's surrounded by a lot of stores and restaurants, that kind of thing. And
we liked it.
We loved the neighborhood. Loved it. Yeah, when we first walked in, it was like, oh wow, it's a big gate in the front. Feels very secure.
Bathroom here was nice. Can't complain. You could tell there's some tile issues, but nothing major for a bathroom. This home was probably built in 1990, 95 or something like that. And then this was the 2nd bedroom. Again, you could tell they had painted here, which was the difference between that and the other home. Because the white walls really make a difference. The old built-ins popped a little bit more. They had polished them up a little bit. You could tell they did something to push forward the rental of this home. It was good.
Yeah, one thing I will say, we didn't see any mold in these homes, which I know is a weird thing to say, but here, we've come across that looking at homes, especially homes that have been sitting for a while.
Right.
But we didn't see any of that. So these are obviously our homes that are maintained.
And that was a half bath, and we are moving into the primary bedroom, and it was on the 1st floor. The other 2 bedrooms are up on the 2nd floor. And again, they shared that hallway bathroom. And this was the ensuite bathroom. I just did not like it. It was this was like 1975. Broke camp, set up shop, was living and lovingly in that bathroom, and it actually looks better in the video than it did in person. In person, I was a little scared to touch the walls. I know it was clean, but I ain't like it.
Yeah, no, I'm not really with the old old shower. And I specifically asked if we moved in, if we could replace it. We could replace the shower, and everything in the bathroom. They said yes. So there's they have no problem with you putting money into the home to make it the way you want it.
Right, but you put in major features like that, you're not getting it out. So, and that's one thing about Mexico. If you put something in, you can take it out. But if you're redoing the whole bathroom like that, a gut job, you can't take that with you. So, yeah, it wouldn't be something I would do for a rental.
Right, only if you were gonna really invest in a property you're gonna be in.
So this kitchen needed an oven, a fridge. Countertops were fine. There was a lot of space in here. It wasn't a lot of countertops, but there was a lot of space. I could probably put an island in there. So I wasn't too disappointed in the kitchen. When you walk out the front or the side door, it leads to an office space in the front of the home, which I thought was amazing. This was actually one of the better parts of the home to me.
Yeah.
Was this office space, or you could call it a fourth bedroom, depending on how you want to live your life. We looked at it as an office space, no ceiling fan, no AC. Somebody had like a little mini sink in here, a countertop. I don't know why. But definitely you can throw a bed up in here. In our case, like I said, if we were looking at it, we were going to put an office, make it into an office. Yeah. The only bad part about this was I think this room actually, that wall that was in our bedroom, that window was into this room. Because this had to be an addition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And not the greatest planned one. But this space out here was great. And you walk out and the front was beautiful. The front of the house was gorgeous. It was on the corner lot, as Amber mentioned. A lot of outside patio area. I mean, you really couldn't complain. You could park in there if you wanted to.
Or you could sit you some rocking chairs out there and just sit and be nosy all day.
This was another visual of the living and dining room space, which is basically one shot. There was no AC or ceiling fan in there. Those are the stairs leading upstairs. Just giving you guys another visual of the home. Then we're going to go outside. And outside was the backyard and the laundry space. So it was a pretty decent home.
Right. I don't know if there were quarters out there, like for staff. I can't recall, but it was definitely a lot of space just for storage and for your laundry items. Yeah,
it was a decent enough backyard. Plenty enough room for a washer and dryer, even a clothesline if you wanted it, a hammock if you wanted to put it out there. This was a good home. That bathroom was crap-tastic. And the price was good. I can't even complain about the price for this home. You were going to get your money's worth.
In that location, yeah. If you were going to have like a long-term lease, it would maybe be worth it.
All right, y'all. So you saw the two homes that we looked at that were older that we talked about. And the reason why I wanted to share it with you was because you can go older here, but you have to be realistic about it. It costs money. Old homes equals new money. And if you don't have a lot of new money, I would lean away from an older home. Even in newer homes are going to cost you some funds. But an older home, just point out the things that we pointed out to you. AC units going to have to be replaced because more than likely the homeowner is not going to do all of that. You definitely need a fridge and an oven. The newer homes, sometimes they're actually putting those appliances in.
Sometimes.
Because they're learning the market, and the market wants some of those items in. They don't want to buy it all brand new or moving in from wherever they came from. Especially since a lot of people are coming in from out of state, out of country. And when I say out of state, we're in the Yucatan state. There are other states in Mexico, just like there are in the U.S. Geography. So there are those things. And then, like we said, painting.
Yeah.
Upgrading the bathrooms. I mean, things that you don't even think about in rental homes in the U.S. I don't want to gut a bathroom to make it livable for me. Yeah. Even if the rent is cheap.
Right. I mean, it really depends on what you want. I mean, if the location is worth it to you, because we did go back and forth about that for a couple of places. Like the location is exactly what we want. But so it really just depends on what weighs more to you, what carries more weight. Is it the newer appliances, the newer fixtures, or is it the location? So you're going to make those decisions when it comes to older homes.
And the location for both of those homes was excellent. And that was really why it was so hard for us. But I was like, okay, we get the location. I'm not outside though, right? But that's the drawback of the location is that I can walk to stores. We can go out to eat relatively easily, but that's only 2 hours maybe out of my day. The rest of the time, I'm in the home. And in that home, I'm not comfortable. And that's what we had to look back at, you know. I don't feel comfortable going in the toilet. I mean, come on, it was dank up in there. It looked good in the video. It wasn't that great in person. You know, is it hot? How much is it gonna cost to install 4 new AC units at 6,000 pesos each? And that's for the cheaper end version. You're probably gonna spend more than that, you know. How much for a decent sized fridge? How much for a decent oven? Do you get gas? Do you get electric? How much is your gas gonna run? Which is not that big of a deal because you can get gas here pretty easily, but it's something you gotta think about. What's the water pressure like in those older homes? You gotta get the water softening, which a lot of people don't like because it sort of messes with the environment a little bit, but those older homes equal older pipes. Mm-hmm. You have a problem with water in newer homes, so I can even imagine what an older home, water pressure, heat, if it even works right, and things like that. So those are the things you won't even see until you actually get into
right. And those are things that you definitely want to ask about and check when you're actually walking around. Turn on the faucets.
Right.
Flush the toilets. Ask if the water pressure can be improved, if something can be used to improve the water pressure. Those are things you have to do here. You have to ask the questions. And we were just talking about the fact that here you can, if you're a DIYer, like you can just have the time of your life because you can really do so much in these homes that with the structures that are there. If you have the talent and the time and money, to put into it.
Right. There is places where you can get all kinds of wood and stone and you can do it yourself. We ain't doing people though.
Right.
And so that means we got to go find people to do those things that we want. Because every home that we looked at in this video, we would have to improve quite a bit. That improvement takes time, takes money, takes imagination to envision what you want, right? Instead of just walking into a home and it's already pretty much set. And you just live your best life in Merida. So you got to think, if you're here long term,
right?
And when I say long term, I'm like 3 to 5 years. I'm not talking about 6 months. 6 months is not long term, people. A year is not even long term, realistically. I'm thinking retirement. If you're here for 3 to 5 years, then this is something you might want to invest in. You might want to put your money into gutting out a bathroom. True. Because you're going to get it back. You're going to get that return investment back. I personally don't know what we're doing. We're doing year by year. So a rental that's either furnished or unfurnished is better for us. So that's why we went the direction we went into. But we want to share with you the options that you possibly have and things you need to think about. I mean, that's the whole purpose of this video, really. It isn't to show a home in a bad light or a great light. It's really to show you the options in a home and things that you need to think about if you are considering either direction, you know. And even new homes, you still have to buy things. We have to buy a fridge for the home that we're gonna be in. But we don't have to buy ceiling fans. We don't have to buy AC units. And again, an AC unit is 6,000 pesos. That's like 300 bucks off the rip. And that's for 3 or 4 bedrooms. And plus you need one for your main home. So if a home doesn't have it, you already are spending almost $2 grand on AC units, depending on how many you need and the style and the quality and things like that. And that's before you moved into the home.
Right. So yeah, that was definitely a big factor in why we made our final decision. Was, you know, do we really want to spend all that money to make things what we want when we could just move into something that has most of what we want already?
Right.
And then we just go from there.
Right. And you pay sometimes you have to pay a little bit more for that, and that's okay. So that 2,000 is going to be stretched out over a year instead of paying it up front.
That's true.
And I don't even know if it's even that much of a difference, being brutally honest. The older home versus the newer home that we got. And you'll see which one we got in the future, not today. So we'll share that with you.
Yep, look for it.
Right, so hopefully you've learned something in our journey. If you got any questions, drop them below, of course. And if you want to be connected with our realtor, drop us an email at wonderingsoup@gmail.com. We'll send that information. And I am Kat.
And Amber.
We'll see you on the next video, y'all. Peace and love.